Guess who's back? RT Money in the house. And what I'd like to do is take you through Aussie Swiss. Aussie Swiss, we're going to do a top down analysis on this here. And I hope you can keep up because I'm going to move. All right. This is the monthly. All right. What do we see on the monthly? What do you see in front of you? We have a supply zone, we have a demand zone with a little M for monthly inside of each one, a little happy M, right? All right. And what do we notice in this market? We see lower highs, lower lows, right? And then price starts to push up. All right. Here we have a nice little higher high, higher low, but we haven't broken structure here. All right. We broke a short-term high here, but this is the structure. This is the structure. Why is that the structure? Because this was the last lower low, lower high that made that lower low here. You understand? It has two candles, and that constitutes a pullback. All right. But ooh, this one is a little, I don't like this pullback. There's two candles in it, but this one does not trade outside of the range of the middle one. So this is one leg of structure, really. This is one leg of structure. So as we make a higher high, higher low, higher high, we're this is the top of that range. This is the top of that range. All right. We see this lower low, lower high, lower low here. All right. But we don't have a a two candle pullback here. So from this lower low to that lower high, this is one leg of structure. We can do all of this in the middle, but this is the top of the range. So we haven't broken that kind of structure yet, but we have short-term highs that we broke. All right. And when you have two, I said two, when you break two short-term highs, that's a show of weakness. All right. That is a show of weakness to sellers. All right. That's a show of weakness to sellers. All right. And you can see the buyers broke higher. All right. And once you have that show of weakness, and this actually should say SOW. All right. Once you have that show of weakness here, you expect a return to impulse. That is the order block in which price impulse past these structural points. Okay. Return to impulse. And that's what happened. We returned to this demand zone and price reacted here. All right. So what the question we want to leave with when we go through multi-time frame analysis, we want to say, what is the intent of price in this time frame? We understand that price wants to made a higher high. All right. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We think price intends to make a higher high to break structure. All right. We think that price is trekking higher. That's what we want to do. Okay. That's what it wants to do. That will dictate what the lower time frames are going to do. It gives us a framework in which the lower time frames work. All right. Let's go to the weekly. What do we see differently on the weekly? Anything? All right, we see that price is working its way up. We can see on this time frame that we have two candle pullbacks. This one's three candles, two candles. So we go lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, and then we break that as our first break of structure to the upside. This gives us our first indication that price wants to go higher, right? And then over here we have the break of these are breaks of structure now because of all we have more candles. We can see the price action a little bit more clearly. This is the high point. We see that price made that higher low here, right? What else do we see? We see price gave us an indication, a reversal pattern that lets us know that price will continue likely to the higher side. It'll keep traveling bullishly. All right. We always look for this pattern on every time frame, on the minute time frame, on the 1 month time frame, whatever. All right. Whenever price comes into your POI, we're waiting for the potential for to see price reverse there. And this is the way it will reverse. We will see price transition from bearish to bullish or from bullish to bearish momentum. Got it? Good. Now, with this inverted head and shoulders, or quasi, if you will, we'll look for the lower right shoulder. We look for that shoulder, that left shoulder, and then we look for the head. And we want to remark in this leg of structure where the order block is, because that's where we'll look for an entry on the formation of the right shoulder. And that's exactly what happened here. Got it? Right here. And price just took off, breaking structure on the way up. This is structure here, because price pulled up, came down, pulled up. Got it? All right, now it doesn't have two consecutive candles, but on the daily, this is going to be a break structure. On here, it is a swing high. All right, we still went higher than it. We still went higher, and does constitute a a, a short term, two short term highs. The top here and here, that's two short term highs. That's a short weakness to sellers. All right, we know that buyers want to take over. Got it? All right, we also have an inefficient move. Here, this is an imbalance. Call it an imbalance, call it a fair value gap, call it a liquidity gap. Price likes to mitigate these. When it's all sellers here, it wants to balance it. All right, that's why it's called an imbalance. It comes back to pass through it so that it could uh, 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 mitigate the what some people will call missing price. It does this all the time. When you see an inefficient move of price will at some point pass back by here to mitigate this this fair value gap. It'll fill in this void. Okay, this is a price void, and price will fill it. All right, given a balance. Got it? Okay. Now, what else do we see? What else do we know? We know that the last breaker structure was up to the upside, so we can say on the weekly as well as the monthly, we are bullish, and that what is the intent of price to go higher to create the higher high. All right. We also want to make note that there is a daily supply zone up here. All right. Uh, we'll do that. It's best to do that on the daily time frame. All right. Once we get there. Okay. All right. And you can see the price action very clearly here. I don't like a whole lot of this. Okay. All right. You can see the price action very clearly here. And then once we broke structure, all right, price just continues chopping it up nicely to the upside. We have a daily supply area here. So we want to be careful once we get up there, because price has the potential to reverse. But that is exactly according to our plan. Because what do we think that price is going to do? After a break of structure, it'll continue higher to make the higher high. But we know that price wants to make the higher low to make the higher high. Got it? We're already in the process of making this higher high. We have this imbalance before this bearish order block. That kind of combination uh, kind of gives it a higher odds that price is going to continue higher to meet this order block to mitigate it. Okay, so we're going to look for that. We're going to keep our eye out for that, so that once price reaches there, it'll have a reason to reverse, come back and mitigate uh, uh, this impulsing order block, the return to impulse that we talked about earlier, to make the higher high, and then make the higher low to make the higher high. All right, that is the power of higher time frame uh, correlation with the lower time frames. All right, now I want to take you into detail on where price is right now. This is 1 hour. I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can because we're running out of time. Uh, we have breaker structures. We see where price is at the imbalance. It just touched that imbalance. Okay. Sometimes when it touches an imbalance, that has a very wicked rejection from it, and then it goes right back into it. So just keep your eye out for that because it will fill this imbalance. We just don't know exactly when. It does it when it wants to. All right. Now, upon close inspection of this 1 hour chart, you can see that price gave us that uh, the head and shoulder formation, indicating that price may be transitioning from bullish to bearish momentum. All right. But what I like to see is a high, higher, not high, not as high, a lower shoulder, that right shoulder. I like to see this, but I like to see before it gets here that price breaks these lows. I like this is this is what indicates that price, when we have a break of structure, that price will continue, likely continue lower, a high probability, and that we're going to return to impulse, which would be the order block in the head for that right shoulder to form. And this is where you get your best entry. Boom. Got it? Review that. Check this video out again. All right, if you need to. All right. Now, like I told you, I like to see that break of structure down there. Right. What do we got right here? This is something that we want to make note of. All right. We see that there is an order block here, a bearish 1 hour order block here, and price has tested it multiple times. All right. And what I like to see is a bearish engulfer forming at a bearish order block, because that kind of tells me, that indicates that price is protecting bearish order blocks. It's protecting bearish order flow. All right. When you start to see that the tops, the very peak of the order block, the bearish one, is being violated, well, then everything is still bullish and you shouldn't be looking for any sells. All right. But this is the areas that we want to see protected. And as long as if there's bearish order flow, price will protect those bearish order blocks. And you see how price broke the structure to the downside, came back, returning to the impulsing order block. This works like magic, folks. And this is where you would catch your best entries for short. Now, prices returned up here. Do we have a short? This is where you use your strategies for entry, your criteria for entry. All right. I want to see price round over here. I want to see price respect this this order block. I want to see price round over and uh, take a short. I want to take that short all the way down to the higher time frame return to impulse, that order block that I mentioned earlier, down here. That's what I want to do. All right. So it's a sell to buy move because it's going to make the higher low down here, right? This is where we want to take our buys. Back up here. All right. Sell to buy. Got it? It's very, very, very simple. Very simple. All right. So what I want to do, if I can just somehow get that fixed. All right. I will be looking for a good entry for a sell order here. I'm going to put my um, uh, stop loss above this order block as long as this order block holds, and I will take my first TP here at the bottom here. Always at the first TP is going to be at the low of the where price started to return to impulse. All right, and then you can hold on for the rest there. You use your own trade management rules and everything, but I'm looking for an entry, a good entry on a lower time frame, right around this area, and that's my idea to you. I hope you benefited from this analysis and this trade idea. Leave me a comment saying, yeah, this is the one, man. Or say, no, you're not the one. This trade ain't the one, and you need help. give me a comment of any kind. I'd like to hear some feedback. All right. I'd like to get some feedback from you because I, I like my people. That's it. All right. And I also want to hear any requests for any market that you want to analyze. Okay. Check out one of the two videos on the screen if you're looking at it on YouTube. And check out one of the videos, especially the one for my market outlook for this week. And I will see you in the next video.